And now our second story out front. This video caught our attention today. Yeah, who is that? Who are those amazingly good-looking people? Mitt Romney and his wife, Ann. And they really are, I mean, you know, sickly good-looking, particularly Ann. Skiing on a lake in Lake Winnipesaukee, where the Romneys will celebrate the 4th of July. This scene reminded us of another presidential candidate enjoying some summer downtime. Also equally good, actually much better, because I have to say, Ann was the one driving the jet ski. Mitt looked like he's holding on for dear life. John Kerry clearly knows how to windsurf. There he was back in 2004. But the question is Mitt Romney having his windsurfing moment? A very smart man once told me this.
I think both parties need to pass a rule that says neither of us will ever nominate anyone from Massachusetts again.
Well, that man joins us now, Erickson, along with John Avlon and Roland Martin. Eric, you stand by that?
Yeah, you know, if this isn't going to go well for Mitt Romney, the interesting thing for him is that Eric Fernstrom is probably the guy from Massachusetts who may need to go. But I'm a little bit shocked by the Obama campaign really pushing this out to the media today because, you know, I live down in Georgia. We call those the redneck version of the ski boat. We all have them, and none of us are in the 1%.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm saying, to be fair, that the comparison with the windsurfing was mine. I was unable to resist that. But, all right, so you're saying jet skis are not windsurfing, but still, Lake Winnipesaukee, fancy New Hampshire.
Yeah, but you know, this is the same thing with like Mitt Romney going to New Hampshire and Barack Obama going to Martha's Vineyard. Neither of them seem to want to relate to the rest of America. It's a problem both campaigns have.
Well, John Avlon is true. They both go to very
and quite
lovely
notably,
New England locales.
They do, but quite notably, Barack Obama's not going to Martha's Vineyard this year. That campaign, that vacation plan has been called off. But you know, obviously, the reason this video popped is that it does recall the windsurfing moment. And there's, you know, just having fun with it. Maybe the message isn't just not nominate folks from Massachusetts, but avoid water sports when you're running for president.
Avoid water sports.
Maybe that's,
God.
But I mean, look, you know, in all seriousness.
John Kerry is really good. I mean, he purposely aimed for that wake, I gotta say.
I'm not quite sure what Mitt Romney's doing behind his wife on the jet ski, but that's really a judgment call. Look, obviously on a superficial level, you've got a stiff stentorian Massachusetts.
She wears the suit.
Aaron,
who speaks
she wears
Spanish.
the suit. It's the best part about him as a candidate.
First of all, I'm trying to figure out why Eric is standing by that shirt with that T-shirt underneath, okay? That's one thing.
Whoa,
Send him an ascot.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. This makes no sense
because
to me.
I got my swimming suit on and I'm going to the beach after I get off here.
If I'm Mitt Romney, I would channel Allen Iverson. I would say, jet skis? Really? We're talking about jet skis? Not policy. Jet skis. That's what we're talking about. This, to me, is what drives me nuts. Every time we have a conversation whether it's wind sailing or jet skiing, the president should also say, golf? You're talking about golf? Of all the things out there, you're talking about golf? This is just nonsensical. Guess what? Americans jet ski. Americans windsurf. Americans play golf. Americans go to Martha's Vineyard. So I think Americans go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Americans do all these things. So how about this here? If we question them on policy as opposed to silly stuff, that to me makes sense. Not a jet ski.
You know what? That's a very fair point.
Amen, Roland. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, no, I think, look,
Eric, that was the impassioned defense that you were supposed to provide.
Well,
but he can't end that pattern.
I'm looking forward to going to the beach for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
But this brings me, though, to something, Roland, which is interesting. Let's look at the polls, because this is serious. A new poll shows Mitt Romney and Barack Obama pretty much tied on a crucial issue for Mitt Romney. Who would better handle the economy? Essential tie, 48% for Mitt Romney, 47% for Barack Obama. I don't need to tell everybody this is within the margin of error. More likely to get the economy moving, Barack Obama, 44%, Mitt Romney, 42%.
Yeah.
That's pretty damning.
See that date, June 28th, July 1st? That's the most important thing. These mean nothing right now, okay? We can spend a lot of time pouring over numbers.
Now, why do you say that? Because people are feeling in a good mood because of the holiday?
No, it's because so many things could happen literally over the next 4 months that could totally change this election. Remember in 2008, what took place when Senator John McCain suspended his campaign. He goes to Washington, D.C. Senator Obama does not. I mean, that really cemented the race. That was October. So many different things could happen. And so I really don't get excited over who could possibly handle the economy better. It's really going to come down to those critical states as opposed to some overall number.
Look, of course, statewide numbers are what determine who wins the Electoral College. And of course, it's still early. We all get What I think's significant about these polls right now is that it does show that the economy is largely a jump ball. And to some extent, momentum seems to be slightly shifting towards President Obama at a time when the Romney campaign keeps saying it's all about the economy. Every day we don't talk about the economy is a bad day for us. And so that's why I think these are indicative of the way the winds are shifting right now.
Eric, let me just ask you a question about what Mitt Romney should do. Hold on, I just want to get to this before the end of the conversation. These tweets that are out about the Mitt Romney campaign. Eric, you know, from Rupert Murdoch saying Mitt Romney last week, tough Chicago pros will be hard to beat unless he drops old friends from team and hires real pros. Doubtful. He then continued that. Jack Welch, the well-known former leader of General Electric, said, hope Mitt Romney is listening to Murdoch advice on campaign. Is it time for a shakeup, Eric?
Yeah, I'm not sure that it is, because Mitt Romney has a very insular campaign. One of the problems that Mitt Romney has is very much like what George W. Bush had, which is a great deal of loyalty to his staff and doesn't necessarily cut strings when it's time. I'm concerned about Eric Fernstrom, and he gave the Etch-a-Sketch remark. He gave now the it's not a tax remark on Monday. Internally, Romney people seem to be saying they're upset with him for doing that. At the same time, though, you know, the president, up until the Supreme Court gave him a win last week, had a significant series of bad weeks. The polling isn't going well for him in the battlegrounds. Even CNN has him behind Mitt Romney in battlegrounds, and no one wants to talk about should Barack Obama's team do this. I'm not sure it's necessarily fair to talk about Mitt Romney's team when they're neck and neck in the polls, and he really hadn't done anything wrong in the past few weeks.
Right, and this is a Republican campaign being run out of Massachusetts, so there are a lot of consultants wanting in. But to change your campaign's team at this point would be so destabilizing and so demoralizing. You want to reach out and grow your campaign, I think is what I'm hearing Eric say. But I think getting rid of your top stuff, especially when you're in the real heat, that would be, I think, a terrible management decision, among other things.
Final words.
Governor Romney should ignore people like Jack Welch and Rupert Murdoch. Neither one have ever run for political office. They've never won. And so the way you operate in business is different when it comes to politics. If you shake your team up, that's going to lead to another host of stories about saying you never trusted it. Then it becomes this whole thing where you just eat yourself up. Stick to your game plan. You move forward. Anything happens, you get to September, October, that's a different ball game.
Hey, Roland,
you don't change anything now.
You're not a consultant for the Romney campaign tonight. I'm just checking.
No, but I'll tell you what, though.
I'm just checking. He might need you.
I'll take some Romney money, though. I don't mind another check.
Buy yourself a jet ski. Thanks to all three of you. We appreciate it. Nothing wrong with having fun, doing whatever you're going to do. All right.